Financial Freedom Now show. Yay! I know you're excited, just like I'm excited to bring to you another interesting topic. Now, we're going to be building up on what we had last week, which was obviously trying to look for ways you can make money. And today, we're discussing, you've already seen the title, we're going to be discussing You're Eating Goldmine, Unlocking Wealth from what you already have. Now, yes, I know we're looking at making more money, building your financial freedom, and doing lots of good stuff. But before we start looking at new ideas, I want us to sort of harness what's inside. And I've got notes here that I put down to make sure I have good stuff. I hope you have listened to the previous because that we're building up from that. So I want to make sure, if you've not, make sure to listen or watch the previous episode in this series, because the series I'm going to be taking you through. So today I want us to talk about this. Now, most people think that you need to start from scratch or get something new to become financially free. And whilst in truth, yes, you want to build on your income, but you want to build on your income and you want to expand your income. I get that. But a lot of times what we do not realize is a lot of people are actually sitting on skills, experience, assets that can be explored into building multiple income streams. So I don't want you to just think that what you need to build on is outside. Sometimes it's all within, and I want to help you learn how you can we can squeeze them, we can harness them, and learn how to make it really yours, because it's yours but it's not yours because you don't know about it, right? And we're looking at how you can harness those things. Now, the question you might ask is, what exactly do I need doing? Because I feel like I've explored this in the past. I feel like I wouldn't be where I am now if I had anything that was worthwhile getting me this income stream or getting me financially free. The truth is, you don't necessarily need a new business idea or major funding to begin your financial freedom journey. You just need to open your eyes, and I'm glad you're here, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to help to open your eyes to see the goals that you already carry, and the knowledge, the network, the results, and all of those things that you already have that can actually be harnessed to actually do this. So if I told you that your financial breakthrough is currently sitting in your house, right? It's on your phone book, your WhatsApp group contacts, your laptop, your day job, and I told you 100, and somehow I was able to convince you 100% that it is in there. Would you believe me? Would you necessarily believe me? And now let's move away from if I told you. I am telling you. But the question is, Toyin, you would ask me, is Toyin, show me how? And that's what I want to do today. I want to show you how. So let's get into it. There's a parable in the Bible of the widow with the oil. Now, I'm not going to go too detailed in that. So just for anyone that is not Bible oriented or Bible believing Christian, and you don't understand but I always said Bible is like the most sold book, isn't it? So some people, some of these parables actually link into life generally. And she didn't need anything new. What she needed to actually help her pay her bills and pay the bills of her deceased husband was already in her house. It was the oil she had. She just needed to apply a different skill. So what the example, what I'm trying to make you understand here is the fact that you might already have the asset that would be the base and that would fund the next your life, but what you do not realize is the fact that you may need to apply a different principle to what you already have. So when I say that you can do this, it might also be, this might mean that, yes, you might be aware I have this, and I know some people make money from it, but I just don't see how I can. It's just meaning that you might need to apply a different principle, not what you've always applied. So that for you, that might be the difference, the different thing that you need to do. So when I say apply what's already in your house, it means that you've got skills, you've got experience that you've built over the last however number of years, you've got connections, network, experience, hobbies actually that you can use to generate the income. Now, it's difficult for me to sit here and say to you, oh yeah, this is what it is. But what you need to just do is to, like I always say, is a stock taking, to think, what are the things that I actually love doing? What are the things that I have done in the past? What are the things that are around me that I know others actually maximize and make money from? And then just write them down. Because sometimes just doing that exercise just gives you a different perspective. You start going through them. Some of it will come to you immediately. Others will just be like, okay, I don't see exactly how. And you may need a bit of thinking, but you want to do the exercise of just writing down everything that you've got. When I say everything that's in your house, when I say everything else, everything in your life, everything around you, everything that's your experience, what you've built, what you've done, the first job you did, the skill set you built there, all of those things you want to do. Now, I want the next step is for you to audit your skill set, right? What do people already ask you for? So just think about it. What are the things that people already ask you to do? So some of you just find that, your friends just know that you're very good with graphics, right? And they just say, oh, can you help me do that? Look at my Instagram post. I'm not sure. Or you just find yourself already critic of those things. So it's like, what are the things that people ask you for? It doesn't have to be paid for, and they don't need to have asked you for that, asked you to pay for it. But you've just always done it. And make a list what people come to you for advice or help with. This can be for people in your church, in your friendship groups, so people from your children's school, from your workplace, from your old school association, just anybody. Just make a list of what anyone or people generally ask you for. And if you don't think anyone will ask you for anything, you make a list of what you've ever been asked for. For some of you, straight away, I know what people always ask me for and what they come to me for, and you do the audits based on that. Here's what I found. And then my research seems to be wanting to get involved. The next question is you ask yourself, because again, I want to be fair with this. Not everything is easily going to be monetized. So you should ask yourself, which one of these things could be monetized through services? Are they things that you could make like a digital product of? Are they something that you can actually have a full fledged mentoring business on? Or can you consult on this, maybe offering that to a wider audience? Because if one, two people need it from you, the truth is the tendency is that others would need this as well. They just don't know you exist. Or is it something that you would need to do a community building on? A lot of businesses that you see the startup, this is how they start off. It's almost like the idea stage, is the idea building stage of actually being able to build make this work. So you want to spend some time with that. The number 3 thing I want you to do is start with low-hanging fruits. You start with a low-hanging fruit. So examples of what you can have with that is create a digital product on any of the things that we've talked about. Yes, you might know that this thing can go into a full-fledged business, but you want to almost test it out before you start investing a lot in it. So you want to start with maybe a digital product, like an ebook, maybe from you could create an ebook from your professional knowledge. Again, what are the things that you possibly have had issues with in the first place? What are the things you encountered getting into your profession? What are the things that you know that if someone had this, it would make their life a lot easier? It's almost coming from problem solving aspect. What are the things that you know? So a lot of people, sometimes your low hanging fruit will be just a digital product on your professional knowledge that you already have. It's something you already have. You already know those things. Just create a digital product from it, which could be ebook, a video, really name it. There's just so many you could think about. You can turn your hobby into, and know loads of people that started, they just love cooking or they love baking, and before you know it, they started into a class, a mini class for those that want to learn. Some people know how to make up, and then they make your class for others. So just think about low-hanging fruit that you can turn your hobby into something that someone else will like. So that's why, like I said, baking, cooking classes, design classes. So lots of people would do like classes on like Canva design. Again, because they already have that, you can do this during the weekend. It doesn't actually mean that you need to stop your day job. If you're working and you have something now, you can do this in the weekend, the evening. You can do this online. Just look at those small things. And at least maybe one thing to mention at this point is, do not in any way just think, oh, that's just only going to make a few pennies, a few pounds. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for me. It's just about starting with that. Honestly, if I think about the businesses that I've had, it started with something that looked so small, I mean, I'll share this. Before I started my online academy, which obviously specializes in property investment, and then obviously I have the separate business on the IT knowledge that I share as well. It started from me just thinking, oh, lots of people always ask me for advice on property, and you know what, I'll just I've been doing this. I started off doing like the free Zoom sessions, and because I didn't want to commit to paying Zoom anything, and then I realized that Zoom was only going to allow you. I think at the time Zoom then made it you can only have lessons for up to 30 minutes or whatever. I can't remember how long that there was something that Zoom changed that forced me to either I was going to have to stop what I was doing because obviously it was free, or pay for Zoom. And at the time I can't remember, it was looking back now, it was a silly small amount, and I was like dilly-dallying. I don't want to start committing to paying that. Anyway, long and short story, I did that. I committed to paying that amount, and even though I was still running free lessons, but that geared me up to say, okay, this is actually, if I'm going to be paying to offer people free lessons on this, maybe I could do something more. And from paying, let's call it £10 a month or something, I can't remember what it was, from deciding to pay that's led into a multiple six-figure business. Because then I started thinking, oh, I could do this, and I could do this. And people started asking, oh, I want more of this, I want this. And I was like, oh my goodness, I really did not realize that this opportunity was there. So please do not undermine the service, the costing, whatever you're making from it now. I want you to see the big picture here. Other thing you could do is offer a freelance service in your existing industry. Now, this is just trying to start with low hanging fruit. So I started off with saying that creating a digital product, turning a hobby into into a paid service, into a weekend income. And then thirdly, you want to then look at offering a freelance service to an existing industry already. Some of you can actually offer a service to like your current employer and offer something else that you could do. Again, you think about what the situation is for you and see what you can possibly do. And if you cannot offer it to your current employer, could you offer it to a different one, as long as there's no non-compete clause in there? So there's just things you can think of. The thing you want to do in terms of starting with low-hanging fruit is renting out something you already have. Some of you might be renting a room in your house, which is you want to add additional income, or you might have like a gear. Some people are really passionate about the IT equipment. Some people have the top range cameras, or they have, I mean, there's just loads. Some people, I mean, even actually be like you have a luxury car, and some people would like to have that for a weekend. So think about, what do I have that I can actually rent out to others, and I start making money off it, so that's quote unquote liability is not fully a liability because you're making money off it. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is don't ignore your day job. It can fund the dream as well. Now, I know that a lot of people say, well, leave your 9 to 5, and yes, that might be the goal, but you need to sort of review this. Instead of spicing your job right now, see it as an investor. It's a joint venture partner. It's an investor in to build your dream, your financial freedom. So don't despise the job. Save strategy. You can save and invest strategically while you're there. And this is something I just feel like I didn't do it well enough, because while I was in the 9 to 5, my exit from 9 to 5 was quite abrupt. Like I've always said, I'm one of those people that just jump. And so I didn't build up that. I mean, there are loads of contacts that I could have brought into my property journey, but I literally, it was almost like I cut it all off straight away. Thankfully, I have some contact, but it's just been that I didn't do. I mean, if I knew what I know now, what I would have done is obviously building that as I go along, building the connections, making sure I'd connected with people well enough they understand what I'm doing. And so when I stepped out, I mean, it's easier to sort of work with them. Now, what I did was when I started I wasn't necessarily open to working with partners, but eventually when we started working with partners, they've been totally new people that we've built along the line, whereas I could have used existing contacts. So please understand that don't just break out the connections you have, and don't despise the job you are in. That job can actually help you build the track record you need for funding and investment later. Okay, so the fifth one is know that your network is your money map. Honestly, I cannot stress this enough, and I emphasize this because I got affected by this, and I think I just shared a bit of that with you. Who do you know that's doing well? Who's one or two steps ahead of you? That's really crucial, because that's one of the things that helped me, but it's also I could have done more of it. I look at my journey into property and how I started off. It was poured on from the people that I met. I think I've shared previously that when my daughter started school, I saw lots of wealthy people around me, and I was like, oh my goodness, how are they doing this? How are they got into how are they funding this lifestyle? They had the luxury cars, they lived in the expensive houses, and I mean, they were not working. So I'm not like one of the people that say, oh, you can't be, you're not sure, and they start despising them. I asked questions, and the questions I asked led me down the path of the research of what I could do. So again, please look at those that are around you. What are they doing? Those that are doing well, what are they doing? Who are those that are, not just those that are extremely rich or wealthy, it's also those that are just one or two steps ahead. What can you learn from them? Have you reached out to them? Have you asked them questions? Can you collaborate with them? Just all of those things, because to me, some of them might be 2 or 3 steps ahead of them. You collaborating with them means you can learn easier from them. You can actually get introduced to more. So when we talk about you making money, it doesn't necessarily mean a new business idea. You can actually tap into someone else's idea. So that's one of the things that you need to think about. Sometimes the door to the next level is just a conversation. Really just a conversation. It doesn't necessarily have to be something new. So the 6th thing I've got is tidy up your digital space, right? Money might be sitting in there. Now, what does that really mean? I want you to think about what are the subscriptions that I already have now, right? That I don't need. A lot of you, when you start looking through your bank statements, you're just like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I've been paying this for the last 2 years. I've only used it once. What are the subscriptions that you get rid of? You also want to think about what are the invoices that you have, overdue payments, incurring interest that you can actually settle or have get an payment arranged or cancel or whatever it is. So just look through that. Just stop letting it pile away and not dealing with it. There's no I always say this, there's no one coming to rescue you. You need to deal with this. Some of these things there are things that you need to sort out now. Again, you want to then look at, if you're already in business, I want you to review who are your past clients, which you never got followed up. And this is a mix of, some of them actually have done business with you and you need to follow up because they want to buy more from you, or some people, there was conversations that were pending and they were interested, they wanted you to check back with them, but you never did. So this is time to actually review and look at all of those and make contacts with them. Doesn't necessarily mean that there will be something, but you need to explore that. Then you need to check what are the saved ideas that you already have, partially written content. Some of you started writing books, never really finished, draft product ideas. So let's not look at those starting out the things that I have. I mean, I did this recently, and we were looking for like a lead magnet for one of our new campaigns, and my team was saying, oh, can I do this? And I was like, I have done loads of this kind of things in the past. Where are they? Can we maximize that? Because sometimes it's always about getting something new, and it's not always about something new. What are the things you already have that you can maximize and make use of? So I hope this has really, really resonated with you, and you've actually seen 1 or 2 things that you can actually implement straight away. I want you to, this week is pretty much more about getting a personal wealth audit of your life, of your systems, of your existing practices, and write down 5 things you already know, do or own that can generate your income if you take action on them, and then choose just one to act on within the next 7 days. Really, even if it's just a baby step. I really don't want us to complicate this, because sometimes we overcomplicate it and think of big ideas or big things we can do. Let's just actually take it a step back and just do one small thing at a time. What are the things that you can actually do that would help you? And if you need help with a wealth audit worksheet, then let me know. I'll be happy to send you one. So the question that I'll leave you with that could help you. I wrote a few questions down here that myself help you. What do people thank me for the most? Right? Obviously, going back to the first thing, we talk about what have I learned in the last 5 years that others could benefit from? What's something I enjoy that others struggle with? I think those 3 questions would help you, will help fine-tune and get the answers that you're looking for. I hope today's episode has been great. As usual, I do thank you for your constant communication with us, following this channel, following this show, sharing with loved ones. And for those of you that are joining for the first time, Thank you so much. Please do me a favor and make sure you listen to the previous episodes, because that would really help us connect a bit more, and like, share with us or with others, because that helps us get this word out there. Until next time, my name is Toyin Ayandare. It's the Financial Freedom Non Show. God bless you.